Hello and welcome to StealthGTI. I'm Scott, and today I'm going to talk about my mother's memorial. Welcome back and thanks for being here. A mother's memorial, that is kind of heavy stuff. It's not my normal channel content, and so I won't be offended at all if you click away. This is not for everyone. With everything going on, with the fault to the engine, trips to the dealer, canceled trips to the Sequoias and things like that, kind of high-paced stuff. I told you in one of those videos, I think it was the one where I was taking the car to the VW dealer, I'm mission-oriented. And so until my mission was complete, I was focused on getting it done. And I didn't talk a lot about my mom, but I wanted to give you just a little bit of closure on that if you're one of the ones that might have tuned in for that. She and I lived 3,000 miles apart, so we were not in each other's everyday lives. And I don't know if you've ever learned about personas, but everybody has at least three. Some people have more. You've got the persona that you show at home that people get to see, maybe your temper flare or things like that, maybe some brutal honesty. You've got a persona that you use at the office. Maybe it's professional, maybe it's not. Maybe you have a third persona that's just for your friends. Maybe you've got that third persona, but the other persona, I'll call it persona number 4, that's the one that's just for you, that you don't share with anybody. So I knew my mother's family persona, the matriarch persona, and she was a tough woman. There's just no doubt about it. But what I didn't see was the persona that she shared with her friends. She had quite a lot of friends get up and speak and say something at her memorial, and that's when we boys got to learn how she impacted the lives of others. People, we didn't know these things about her because we weren't a part of that life of hers. And so it was nice to be able to hear these things from her friends. That's all I'm going to say about her. But what I would like to share with you is our last hours together, if you will. My brother and I went, and his wife, we went to go see her on a Sunday morning. He and his wife were flying out around noon or so on Sunday, so we had to leave Sunday morning. So we visited with Mom, and we had a nice visit. You have to understand, with her condition, she had trouble speaking and expressing and moving. Moving. And so everything was labored. She, I believe, knew that time with us was her last time that she was ever going to have. So when it came time to say goodbye, quick rabbit chase about goodbyes. I don't know if you've ever heard of a Southern goodbye. The Southern goodbye is the goodbye that I'm getting ready to leave, so I need to round up all of my stuff and have a nice conversation with you while I'm rounding up all of my stuff. Then there's the goodbye at the front door before you go out. And then there's the goodbye on the porch or maybe at your car. And then you get in the car and there's another goodbye before you finally roll up the window and leave. I cannot stand Southern goodbyes. My wife is all into Southern goodbyes with her friends, and it drives me crazy. When I'm ready to leave, I'm ready to leave. When we round up our stuff, we get our stuff and we leave. And every little conversation that happens all the way to the door and out to the car drives me batty. I think that my mother was that way too. I never thought about it until that day. So what happened was, we're getting ready to take my brother to the airport. So I said goodbye first because I knew that I was just going to come back and see her after I dropped him off. So I'd be gone maybe 2 hours. That way I gave him the floor in case there was anything that he and she wanted to say before we got on the road. And I'm pretty sure she was emotional. I'm pretty sure that she realized that this is the last time she's going to see her baby boy. And I remember watching from the outside. I have an ability to just remove myself from situations and look at it as an observer. And sometimes I can put myself into a situation. And so what I could see in that moment, my mother is 20 years older than me. I was born when she was 19, just before she turned 20. And in 20 years, remember what I said about these fast goodbyes. I hate long goodbyes. But 20 years, I could see it possible that I'm the one in that wheelchair saying goodbye to my little girl for what I might know is the last time, and wanting or hoping that I could have just a little bit more time with her. That's what I could see in that moment. Because my daughter is also quick on goodbye. She doesn't do Southern goodbyes either. So that's why I could see it. So I took off, took my brother to the airport, and I came back a little while later. And my thought was, I'm going to give her a Southern goodbye if that's what she wants. This is it. I'm never going to see her again. So I want to make this count for her. So we had some discussions. We ate. We watched a show that she enjoys to watch. There's no talking during that show. And so from 7 to 8, we just watched the TV, no discussion. And then at 8 o'clock, she normally goes to bed around 7:30, except for when that show was on. So what I had going on in my head was, all right, it's 8 o'clock. She's going to be looking to go to bed. So let's have our final conversation. I don't know, maybe I'll help her get ready for bed. Maybe I'll tuck her in. I'm not quite sure what I had going on in my mind. But what I didn't expect, she wore one of those little necklaces with a button on it, a call button, in case she falls down or something. So she pressed the call button, and I figured she was just going to tell her caretaker, hey, I'm ready to go to bed. And then I figured I would help do whatever I could, right? And I figured maybe I'd give my mom a goodnight kiss before she went to sleep. Instead, the caretaker comes over and says, is everything okay? And she says, Scott needs to leave. I was floored. It was so fast and abrupt. And so we just gave a fast goodbye, and I assured her that I would call her. I was going to be flying the following day, and I told her I'd be in the air all day long and that I wouldn't be able to talk to her until Tuesday. So I told her I'll call you Tuesday and let you know I got home okay. And that was it. That was the goodbye. It was so fast. It was incredible. So, wow, not even the last goodbye. But you know what? She said goodbye on her terms, and that is okay. She ended it like she felt it needed to be done. I called her Tuesday. It was around noon my time. I wanted to give her plenty of time to wake up and get started for the day. And then the next morning, she had a stroke. And the next morning, she was gone. It all happened that fast. And that was the end. And from there, it was all jump straight into planning to get out there, go to her memorial, get her things, and you know the rest. My takeaway from this, from these last years with her, I mentioned that she was a tough woman and she was a tough mother. And so there was some animosity between us when I was young, and even young into my adulthood. We resolved all that stuff 20 years ago. And so I didn't carry any bitterness for that long. But what I learned watching her is even our parents grow up. I today am her age back when she and I had a very difficult conversation. That whole bury the hatchet moment that we had and hashed some things out 20 years ago. And so I know that I am not the same man that I was 20 years ago. And I'm also not the same man that I was 10 years before that when I was very angry with her. And likewise, she is not the same woman that she was 20 years ago, 30 years ago. She grew and had a very positive impact on people around her. Unfortunately, a positive impact that we could not see from so far away. If you're watching this video and you are estranged from your kid or your grown kid or your parents, recognize that people grow up and change. Now, if you reach out and you contact them and they're still that same intolerable person that you knew 20 years ago, write it off. You tried. But If your father, for example, calls you up and wants to connect with you, maybe he's not the same terrible person that you knew 20 years ago. Have the conversation, it can't hurt. I appreciate you spending a little time with me today, hearing my story. Next, I will continue on with the voyage. My wife is not with me here today to discuss this because she's a little more emotional about things like this than I am. Like I said, I can remove myself from things and just look at them analytically. There will come points where I will feel my mother's absence in a different way, say at the holidays or her birthday, my birthday, things like that. But right now, I'm still kind of in mission mode. I got to get her stuff out of California and over to Virginia. Mission, mission, mission. That's just the way I think. So join us as we continue on the trip. As always, I appreciate you being here, and I will see you next time. Take care.
Hey you, this is your mother calling to wish you a day early birthday. Happy birthday. I'm going to be at the house all day today if you want to call back later. Everything seems to be going okay, and I start my physical therapy on Monday. So no surgeries needed. Anyhow, I think I told you that already, but just in case I didn't, there it is. I'm going to go. I love you. Take care. Talk to you later. And have a happy birthday. I love you. This is your mother to wish you a happy birthday. I didn't quite miss it, but just about did. The first time in probably 53 years. Happy birthday. Hope you're on to a good dinner. Tell Joanne I said hello. Love you all the time, Mom. This is your mother. Just checking in. Give me a call when you can. Talk to you later. I love you. Bye.